Morning Baggies! I am absolutely pumped to be walking you through today's explainer. We've got a crucial, action-packed 10-minute briefing for you covering the absolute latest boots-on-the-ground developments at West Brom. Seriously, there's so much going on. We've got a major new signing practically walking through the door as we speak, the squad is actively being reshaped, and our fixture list, well, it just got a massive TV shakeup. There is a ton of ground to cover to get you fully up to speed, so let's just dive right in.
All right, so here's our game plan for this checkpoint. First up, we'll look at the big Myhre arrival. Then, trimming a thin squad, followed by preseason and new tactics. After that, we'll hit the TV fixture shakeup, and finally, wrap it all up with the big picture verdict. Let's get to it.
Section 1. The big Myhre arrival. A major statement.
£3.1 million. Let that sink in for a second. That is the massive figure West Brom has agreed upon for SK Brann's Felix Horn Myhre. We are not talking about some short-term loan or picking up a free agent here, right? This is a proper cash-on-the-table statement of intent. The club literally stepped up and beat out both championship and international rivals to get this done. And the crucial detail you absolutely need to know? He's flying in for his medical this Monday. If all goes to plan, we're going to see him integrated into the squad in less than 2 weeks. It's huge.
Now, check this out, because the sheer consistency of this guy is just staggering. Over 179 games for Brann, Myhre has bagged 32 goals and whipped in 39 assists. I mean, really absorb those numbers for a minute. That is a direct goal contribution roughly every other game, right from the middle of the park. You know, for ages now, James Morrison has been absolutely crying out for genuine creativity and a real goal threat from deep midfield. Well, these stats, they show exactly why Myhre fits the bill perfectly. He doesn't just sit back, he actually produces.
So, how exactly does he fit into the system? Crucially, he's coming in as an energetic box-to-box number 8, the kind of player who arrives late into the penalty area to score. Let's be clear, he is not a defensive anchor. That just isn't his game at all. Honestly, think of him as a younger, way more dynamic version of prime Jake Livermore, but with a heck of a lot more attacking end product. He's got energy, he can shoot from range, and he is coming over to England with a massive point to prove.
Okay, moving on to Section 2. Trimming a thin squad. Balancing the books.
This really highlights the crazy balancing act the club is having to pull off right now. On one hand, we've got that super exciting £3.1 million investment in Myhre coming in, but on the flip side, the club is in advanced talks to sell young defender Alfie Gilchrist to Leyton Orient. And look, the harsh reality is, it's probably going to be at a financial loss. It just goes to show how incredibly tight the budget is under the current ownership. Literally every single penny is being accounted for. Honestly though, a move for Gilchrist to go get regular first-team football makes total sense for everyone, especially given the defensive options sitting ahead of him.
But here's why a departure like that actually matters so much. 21. That is the number of senior players currently sitting in the West Brom squad. I mean, that is a dangerously low number for a team with the kind of ambitions we have. With the roster at just 21 bodies, every single spot in that dressing room has to count. There's zero room for deadweight. None. It also means that a new guy like Myhre, yeah, he's going to get immediate minutes. He'll likely be thrown straight into the fire within a week of his medical.
Which brings us to Section 3. Preseason and new tactics. Building identity.
You know, despite having such an incredibly thin squad, our preseason form has actually been decidedly positive. Take our latest friendly, for example, a really solid 2-0 victory over Peterborough. The most encouraging takeaway here isn't even just getting the win, it's actually the unexpected names popping up on the score sheet, R.A. Hagebo and Barney Stewart. Since we've got some frustrating injuries still lingering around the camp, seeing these younger or rotational guys step up is an absolutely fantastic sign for our overall attacking depth.
But this right here is what I really want you to take away from preseason. Listen to this from James Morrison, who's been handling the first team duties. He was genuinely thrilled. He said, the intensity was there, the shape was solid, and we're building exactly the identity we want. Now look, we all know preseason friendlies don't always mean a whole lot in the grand scheme of things, right? But when a head coach is this incredibly calm and this specific about tactical buy-in and shape, that is exactly when you, as a fan, need to sit up and pay attention. The players are fully buying into the system, and in modern football, that's literally half the battle won.
All right, Section 4, the TV fixture shakeup. Dates to diarize.
Seriously, go grab your diaries right now because Sky Sports just dropped a broadcasting bombshell that is going to completely upend your weekend routines. 3 massive fixtures have been moved. First up, the huge local derby against Birmingham City at the Hawthorns. That's been pushed to an early Saturday 12:30 p.m. kickoff on October 10th. You just know that atmosphere is going to be absolutely red hot.
Next, the away trip to Middlesbrough flips to a Friday night on October 23rd at 8 p.m. And finally, our home clash against a really strong Southampton side moves to Tuesday, November 3rd, also at 8 p.m. Sky clearly expects drama, and they want the Baggies in primetime slots, which is awesome for the club's profile. But it does mean you need to start replanning your travel, booking those trains, and sorting out your time off work like yesterday.
Finally, Section 5, the big picture verdict. Cautious optimism.
So, let's pull all this together and summarize the state of the club. We've got a major £3.1 million signing in Myhre arriving this week, which is just incredibly smart business. We've got a head coach in James Morrison, who sounds totally in control and is building a very clear, recognizable identity on the pitch. Plus, we've got prime TV exposure, proving West Brom is still a massive draw. But, and this is the huge flashing red caveat, we have a dangerously paper-thin squad of just 21 senior players. To survive the brutal 46-game marathon that is the championship, we can't just rely on Myhre. We desperately need at least 2 more bodies through the door. Specifically, we need a winger and another defensive option if we are truly serious about pushing for the top 6. The ownership absolutely has to back Morrison before the window slams shut, because right now, we just do not have the depth to survive a wave of injuries. So the ultimate verdict? Cautious optimism. The signs are really good for sure, but the job is far from finished.
Which brings us to our final, lingering thought for today's explainer. With Monday's massive medical looming, I want to hear directly from you. Based on his incredible record over in Norway and that energetic box-to-box role Morrison has lined up for him, how many goals do you predict Felix Horn Myhre will get this season? Get down in the comments and drop your predictions below. Keep your eyes glued to the news on Monday, and hey, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss our next update. Up the Baggies, and I'll see you in the next one.